That's the cue. Hit center stage. Turn on the lights. The applause sign. Yeah. It's a show. Now it's a show. Welcome to the show that is called Sonic Weekly. We talk about Sonic the Hedgehog every 7 days or so and associated interests. We're talking about all things Sonic. That's what we do on Sonic Weekly. My name is Grant, and with me is Bo. Hi, Bo.
Speed me up. Hey, I saw on one of these podcast information websites that our release frequency is 6 days and 23 hours. So we're like nailing the weekly thing. We're a little ahead of schedule sometimes, but hit it on the average.
You are gosh darn right. And out of the shadows, into the spotlight, star of the show, David the Lurker. Hi, David.
Whoa, hi, Grant. Hi, Bo. Yeah, that's right. Also, from that same page, which I guess we can't remember the name of, I certainly can't. It says that we are not an indie podcast. I don't know what that means.
Where does it say that?
There was a toggle at the top.
It's our affiliation with Barry.
It's right. There's a little toggle at the top.
We got that big Barry money.
There's a toggle at the top.
When you click it, it'll just show indie podcasts, and we vanish from the list.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, how about that? So
yeah, we sold out to big corporate Sega bits. Barry, Big Boss Barry.
Right. Well, I wonder, maybe the site is confused and thinks we are actually an official Sega podcast, which I'd be okay with, because then we'd be getting paid.
I don't want them to think that.
You don't want? No, don't you want the Sega bucks?
I sure don't. Sega, I don't think has the bucks. I don't think they can afford us.
I think they may be good for the eShop, which I'd be fine with. Yeah.
Okay.
I could get like some Rumble skins or something.
Otherwise, we got to rethink our whole fair use argument for the songs and sound cues that we use.
Right. Well,
although if we're officially Sega, then that's ours.
We go legit. Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Right. We could start using real songs.
Yeah, we should use just like the amount of time that you can play a song before it becomes like you can play like a couple seconds of any song, right? Isn't that true?
I think some labels would push it, but yeah, nobody's going to go after you for a snippet.
Yeah,
right.
Just a snippet of Freebird, snippet of Come Together, a snippet of Abracadabra. I was trying to think of something more contemporary.
A snippet of Dua Lipa.
Gems.
Just her talking.
Yeah, Lady Gaga.
Oh, I remember Lady Gaga.
Yeah, she did Abracadabra. Why, she did it just recently on the Grammys.
A good friend of mine went to school with Lady Gaga.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Sonic Spirit Week. Are we celebrating? I think today is cosplay day that we're recording on. David, did you dress up in any of your Sonic cosplay?
Yeah, I am dressed right now as Chris from Sonic X.
Oh, I can totally see it. Yeah. I'm trying to be Wade from the Sonic movies.
Oh, you took mine.
It off. Oh, no, I took it. You could be, who are you? I guess you're...
Crazy Carl, I guess.
You're running out of humans.
I love your art.
I did actually draw a Sonic with a crayon today for my son. So
whoa.
The label fits.
It does.
I don't think he's crazy. I think Carl's eccentric, Carl, but it doesn't
Carl's the most sane in that movie.
Yeah. He knows that Sonic is real.
Yeah.
Nobody will believe him. And he sticks to his principles. He doesn't get shushed by the crowd who says, "You foolish old man, you haven't seen a little blue devil," but he has. We know that he has.
That's right. Otherwise, what are we watching? We're watching Crazy Carl Sees Nothing, the movie.
Has somebody done like Sonic without Sonic edit of the Sonic movie?
It's a great idea. I don't think I've seen it. I would love it. It would definitely trend for a day. You should do it. This is our gift to you, the Sonic Weekly listeners.
Check those fair use laws.
You could have done that on, could have made it on Sonic Content Day. Oh, man.
Oh, you're right. They're promoting, hey, pirate our stuff. You're right.
Right. I guess this is our top story. It's that we're celebrating a week of Sonic. It started on February 2nd, which is, of course, Hedgehog Day.
Hedgehog Day.
Yes, it is Hedgehog Day. You got to stay on brand. This is why Sega isn't paying us. He said Groundhog Day.
Yeah. I thought you meant in the real world. But yes, in the real Sonic world, it's Hedgehog Day, the anniversary of the release of Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and also the anniversary of Knuckles the Echidna.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's 32 years since Sonic 3 came out. And instead of Sega, I don't know, doing something else, they gave us, I like how they call it tasks. That's what it says on the social media. This week we're celebrating Sonic and you today's task, simple, go play, watch, or read Sonic. And that was day one.
Well, but what was day one called? I thought it had an interesting name. It wasn't just Hedgehog
It was
Day.
just Enjoy Your Favorite Sonic Content Day was
Yes,
the name
it
of
was
it.
Enjoy Your Favorite Sonic Content Day. And along with tasks, content is a word that sticks out to me as like it's a marketing word, content.
They love doing that.
They do. And not
They're
just
talking about
Sega.
the key art. They're talking about, here's the creative.
The marketing speak has sort of invaded general language. I think if I had been involved in that conversation, I might have pushed against content as the word and pushed for stuff, which to me sounds much
Stuff
more
is
inviting.
so much better. Yeah.
So much better. Yeah, enjoy your Sonic stuff, whatever that is. Even if it's drinking out of your Sonic thermostat, which wouldn't be content, but it would be stuff.
I think it's thermos, which I did have one when I was
thermos.
a kid.
A thermostat would be what temperature is in the house, which you could have. It could be Sonic's,
I would love that.
You're drinking the mercury that's in there because it's old school.
Yeah, you're drinking the thermostat, and I just roll past that. Don't think anything of it. Nobody corrects me. We just keep going.
That's right. No, I never had a Sonic thermos. I had a Ninja Turtles.
I think
thermos.
it came with the lunchbox for me. It had the Sonic 1 Game Gear box art.
Yes. 100% running across the wooden bridge.
The bridge. Yes.
It keeps hot things hot and cold things cold. That's the benefit.
Yeah.
How does it know?
It's magic. It's made out of magic.
It has an internal thermostat where it knows.
Right. You just got to be careful. If you drop it, the mercury will leak into the soup your mom put in there.
My older son does have a Sonic lunchbox now. It's got Sonic Tails and Knuckles, and he's got a Sonic metal thermos, but they're not a set. They don't go together.
Oh, so the thermos continues.
Yeah.
Is that the content that you enjoyed on Monday?
He enjoys it every day.
So. But again, a thermos is not content. It's stuff, and within a thermos is content. There's the contents within the thermos.
Right.
But I think enjoying those contents
milk
from a
in
cup
the
is
90s,
not,
right?
Yeah, gotta have it. Got it, milk. But yeah, that's not so did any of us enjoy content on the content day?
I guess not, because that's not the day the Chaotix Casefiles came out.
Yeah, same. I played Smash Brothers that day as Sonic, but would you call that Sonic content?
I mean, technically it's Sonic.
I think it has Sonic content. Yeah.
Okay.
Were you content?
Was I content? No, I don't think I was content.
A little on edge. Yeah.
Did you win?
I think I was in a losing streak. I think I was getting my ass kicked.
Oh.
As Sonic, just embarrassing the Blue Blur brand.
On his content day. How could you?
On his content day. Enjoy your Sonic content.
Right.
I mean, its content is just one of those words that's like, it's a hair away from slop. It's a slop word, content. It's so corporate. It's such a corporate word for, like, stuff is at least a colloquial word for art. And which is what is that how you pronounce it?
I think it's colloquial.
Colloquial. What did I say? Let's not worry about it.
Thermostat.
Thermostat. I should host a podcast. Yeah, what were we saying?
You should get Sega to pay for it. That could be part of their content.
So day one was content day.
Day one was content day. I played some Sonic 3 because it was the day Sonic 3 came out.
Oh, you know what day that Groundhog Day, the film, came out?
Was it not Groundhog Day?
It's February 4th, 1993. But it's the right year. He could have just played Sonic 3 on launch day every day in the time loop.
And never play Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, that would be tough.
But you don't know Sonic 3 is a cliffhanger until you play Sonic and Knuckles. Like, it just seems like it ends. It just it ends the same way Sonic 2 ends.
Right. Eggman evaporates and you go, that was fine, I guess. And I do remember after Sonic 3 came out, talking with some friends at school and debating whether or not Knuckles was dead or alive. Because that is an unanswered question. He falls into the water and you're like, okay, that's
Can
the end
he
of the
swim?
game.
We don't know.
Right. My buddy Brandon, childhood memories. He was like, oh yeah, maybe in the next game it'll start like with Sonic and he's there and he reaches his arm out and Knuckles reaches his arm up and they grab. And it's like, yes, he's rescued him. He saved him. It's like, wow. We really thought the Genesis was going to show us something like that. I don't know.
You had to wait all the way until Sonic Movie 2 to see that exact thing.
Yes.
Right. He had a psychic premonition. It just It's a lot.
But the roles are reversed. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, arms are grabbing of those
Arms
two
are grabbing.
characters. Water, drowning.
Content
evolved.
was had.
Yeah.
Right. I guess there's been more since. On the 3rd, it was Fan Music Day. Share your fan-made Sonic music with us for a chance to be featured on our page. And they made a playlist.
Which I thought was nice. And they shared it, and I checked it out. And there were some pretty hot jams in there. Some pretty tasty jams.
All right. How many songs were in this playlist?
When I looked at it, it was around 20. But they may have added to it.
It is 26. That's what it says.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah, look at that. There's Sonic, and there's another Sonic. There's someone holding a guitar. I made the hardest Sonic 3 and Knuckles Mushroom Hill Zone remix you've ever heard. Wow. That only has 396 views.
It was nice that they grabbed from a collection of different creators, some with big audiences, some with smaller audiences.
Yeah.
Nice to see that.
Yeah. It is a mix. I like that. Because there's even one here from 8 years ago that only has 772 views, which, go share it. Right. And some of them are brand new. Some of them, it's an eclectic mix, which I guess represents Sonic as a whole when it comes to the music. It's an eclectic but exciting mix.
That's right.
Of music.
And as I mentioned, it's cosplay day today.
Mm-hmm. Time to flex your fits. Share or tag us for a chance to be featured. And it looks like they've just been retweeting some people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Sonic cosplay.
What an exciting week. And there's some other news. I'm going to throw some stuff at you just to help the headlines move along, David, but we'll go back.
But there's still 2 more days that we haven't talked about because they haven't happened
talk
yet.
about the 2 more days.
Yes. I mean, February 5th is Collection Day and February 6th is Fan Art Day.
Collection Day. Is that when they come around and like collect the Sonic tax?
Yeah. Brand new game, $80, please. Thank you. Here you go.
You got to pay in rings, I think.
Whoa.
I think Barry's going to win Collection Day.
He might. Are
Barry
there
does have a
winners
big
for each of these
collection.
days? I didn't know that.
I don't think there's winning per se.
It's not
but,
official, but everybody knows who's on
But
top.
everyone.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, Sonic Week. It's still going. It will continue to go. But yeah, you said let's move on because what's the big thing? It came out yesterday.
The IDW debut of Sage.
Oh, that's
in
today.
the Sonic the Hedgehog comics. Is that what we're referring to? Oh, no. You're thinking of the Chaotix Casefiles episode 2.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about.
Oh, okay. Well,
forget it.
Both are fairly big news in the Sonic world, right? Chaotix Casefiles, we can definitely talk about. Episode 2 came out. And also, you were just telling me before the show that the theme song, the demo from Rebecca Sugar.
Yes.
Right? That is also came out.
Yes, that was released. It's just demo. It's her and, is it just an acoustic guitar, right? I listened to it and I've already forgotten what the instrument is. But yeah, it's nice. You can definitely hear the Chaotix, the Botanic bass song. Like that illusion was there from the beginning. You can hear her play it. It's neat. I like music demos. I like hearing the raw original concepts of songs. And the episode itself, I enjoyed quite a bit. I was eating some Taco Bell while listening to it. And a moment occurred in the episode that made me choke for a second.
Was it the chewing gum joke? That's the one that got me and my son.
Was it the reveal cliffhanger at the end of the episode?
No.
Was it something else entirely?
It was something else entirely. It was the exchange between Rouge the Bat and SBO the Chameleon.
That was pretty spicy. If you had, some spicy sauce with your meal, maybe that would be too much spice. Because, in the scene, and we should give like a whole brief summary of the whole episode, which I guess I'll just do right here.
Ahead.
Spoilers ahead. Vector the Crocodile continues his story of this case, the Chaotix case file that they were on, while he's present day trapped with Sonic in a cage. And he's telling the story to Sonic and also to Dr. Eggman. And in the story, the Chaotix Detective Agency, led by Vector, are searching for the
astroscopic lens.
Astroscopic lenses. Thank you. Lens. And it was someone who looks like Knuckles, but they know it wasn't Knuckles. And anyway, they go on the trail of the Babylon rogues because they see a green feather that they suspect may be Jet the Hawk's. And Jet the Hawk wants to race to prove his innocence. But in fact, he is innocent anyway. And it was Rouge the Bat that planted that green feather just to send them on a
feather chase.
On a feather chase, a wild feather chase. And Rouge explains this to Espio while also making overt flirtatious overtures towards Espio that go completely over his head.
That's right. I'm trying to remember the exact line.
Well, first she negs him. She says his footfalls are too heavy because he was trying to sneak up on her and failed.
Yep.
And he just falls straight for it. She's using pickup artist techniques on him. It seems to be working, but then he's just too oblivious to for her to seal the deal.
That's right. She says, well, maybe I could make it up to you. How about you and I get together for a little stealthy adventuring later? Just the two of us. And I was like, like even in the transcript, that's put into quotation marks. Like,
yeah, it's a euphemism.
It's a euphemism. And I was a little surprised that they would do that. Because
I was a little surprised too. It's not outright
no,
racy, but it's on the edge of it.
It's on the edge.
It's coming up close to implying sexual adventures.
Right. Basically going, hey,
like even if it's just kissing, it's implying that there's some sort of something beyond holding hands and saying the power of friendship. Like it's implying that there's romance or that there's because that's somewhat off the table with all Sonic. So to imply,
did you interpret it as a serious overture, or it was just to distract him from his
just a distraction? I think she was, using her wily charms to distract him. But just like they've been referring to money, that's like another thing that we as fans had thought were off the table in the Sonic universe. There's no money and there's no romance. But this podcast has said there's those things and there's also humans. So these things that you haven't really seen in games or thought weren't confirmed.
They can't say there's no money. We've seen Vector's eyes turn into dollar signs.
That's true.
So not only is there money, but it's also uses the same U.S. currency symbol.
Yeah, they're still
U.S. currency. It's the United Federation currency. So it's UF currency. Yes, but I mean, I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. It's continuing strong, this show, I would say.
I enjoyed the episode, but not as much as the first one. I think the race stuff seemed a little forced to me. Like, okay, we got to go do this thing. And then that side plot is exhausted now. And, I enjoyed it. I don't have a real relationship with the Babylon Rogues because that game came out in the period where I wasn't paying attention to the games.
Right.
But I guess they were seen as kind of obscure characters until recently. And I'm glad they're pulling the obscure ones out and giving them new voices. And, we saw them in Tales Tube and in the mini Crossworlds promos.
The most shocking thing about the episode, though, has definitely got to be the cliffhanger for the characters that we're going to see next week. And I'm with you, Bo, that when I saw that the characters this week were Jet, Storm, and Wave, the Rogues, I was a little bit like, these are not my favorite characters. I guess it's fine. We'll see. Because now I'm a big Charmy Bee stan, like I mentioned. I love Charmy Bee, and I find Vector the Crocodile extremely charming. And now Espio is pretty funny. So I'm liking all three of them. But, they're going in a direction in this episode where it's not as exciting as the first episode. But what was very exciting is that cliffhanger, Tangle and Whisper from the IDW comics will be making their debut, presumably with voice actors. And great timing, also when the characters will arrive as DLC in Sonic Racing Crossworlds, probably around the same time, probably next week.
Oh.
Then you got to wonder, will Sonic Racing Crossworlds use their voices? Will they have voices? Because we thought before, no, they'll never have voices in the game because they didn't have voice actors, but now they will. So will they be voiced in the game? I don't know.
That is a good question. One that we may have the answer to next week.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right.
But they will have to have voice actors for next week, right? It's an audio medium.
Unless they do a thing where it's like, we just missed them. Tangle, Whisper.
It would be funny if Vector was like, hi, Tangle. And you never, she's like, were you about to say
you keep whispering, I can't hear you.
Yeah, Whisper, you can get away with that joke of what's that whisper? Yeah. And only Tangle can understand, but Tangle sounds like Charlie Brown's teachers. So none of it can be understood. What do you say? Yeah. But yeah, enjoying the podcast, enjoying Chaotix Casefiles. And yeah, okay, so speaking about IDW, then the other big Sonic lore extended media is
Mhm.
Sage has finally arrived
Yes.
and made her debut in the IDW comic. She is referred to as Little Sis by Orbot and Cubot, and they have previously referred to Metal Sonic as their big brother, so that's the Eggman family dynamic. And then Belle the Tinkerer, of course, is the other quote-unquote daughter
Right.
of Eggman. And quote-unquote is how Sage refers to father. Eggman is always in quotes, and so is father, like every time.
Huh. I guess it's her going, well, I know Eggman is not his real name, and he is technically not a biological father. I guess maybe that's what that's meant to mean with the quotes.
Yes.
It's just another layer to the, oh, well, she has a very specific cadence in the way she talks and her vocabulary, which I think does translate into what I've seen of the issue as well. I kind of skimmed it. I didn't sit down and read the whole thing yet, but she's there. I know, I think mentioned in a previous episode, it was like, oh, the comics are post-Frontiers. We're just getting Sage now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to think too much about that right now, but she is there. She is Sage. It's interesting to see her and Belle interact because, of course, that's the first thing you want to do is like, these are the two daughters, quote unquote, of Eggman. What are they going to say to each other? Thought it was funny. She thought Sage was a ghost.
Oh, but is that a callback to like the original?
The leaks?
Yeah, the leaks about
Ghost Girl?
Ghost Girl, yeah. I would love to have like early Frontiers concepts because
yeah,
the trailers and the initial stuff, totally different story.
Where's the beta? Give me the beta.
Give me the beta, or just give me the paper. Just read the paper.
Give me the papers. Yeah.
Yeah, I want all of those. I want to know what the amnesia subplot was. I want to know when they thought, okay, we have to put in this flashback where Sage relives the moments with Dr. Eggman that happened 10 minutes ago in the game with the wistful music. Which, one of the great comic beats in the series.
Yeah, it's
Played
really
totally
funny.
straight.
The flashback to 10 minutes ago. And that should just be something, that she always does. Like in the comics, you just see like 3 pages ago, the flashback, and just keep doing that with her. I think that's great. It's a funny commentary on AI and its usefulness or its limits of use. There was one other thing, wasn't there?
Yes. Now, because most of our news, we always steal it. I mean, borrow it. I mean, generously read it from friend of the show, Sonic Stadium. But here's an article from Nintendo Life. It's been making the rounds. You've probably heard about it. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Everyone excited about it. Everyone loves it. Everyone loves being Sonic in a car. But this headline says Sonic Racing Cross Worlds fails to meet Sega's expectations despite strong critical reception. And that's because, there was a financial report, right? The latest financial report was released. And what does it say in it? Let's just look here. Here we go. It's from Koichi Fukazawa, director of the board and senior executive vice president. Sega, doesn't matter. Look, now I'd like to talk about Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. It has received high ratings, scoring over 80 on Metascore at Metacritic. Oh, that's good. However, initial performance did not meet our expectations, and we are aiming to sell approximately another 1 million units within the fiscal year. We aim to sustain long-term sales by encouraging players to enjoy the game over time through the continued support of the title, including ongoing release of additional downloadable content. There's that word. Content.
Yeah.
So it's a little surprising, right? We'd heard earlier that it had done the million sales and had done that reasonably quickly.
Yeah.
But I think just with how much money and how many promos and how many deals and brands and cross things that they did with it, that
SpongeBob.
It just had to sell a bunch to meet those expectations. And I feel like the logic for why Crossworlds is they look at the numbers and they see Team Sonic Racing still selling 5-6 years later. And we want another one of those, a fresh injection of that. But I think the year-long campaign of teases and this mixed in with that was like maybe the wrong way to market it.
Also, if it is like Team Sonic Racing, that means it's going to have a long tail with these.
Yes.
So it's not going to be all up front, your sales. But, I think also, too, that they're chasing fool's gold. They're seeing the sales for Mario Kart. They're seeing Mario Kart numbers. And they're thinking, well, if they're doing that on just one platform, if we could be on all platforms and we have Sonic, who's just as cool, if not cooler than Mario, I don't think they're necessarily expecting you to do the same numbers as Mario Kart. I don't think they're, delusional or anything, but I think they're chasing that market. But I don't know that that market exists outside of Mario Kart. I think once people have Mario Kart, they're satisfied. And so then you're really just talking about people that don't have a Nintendo platform, but do want to have Mario Kart.
Mm-hmm.
Or who want both, then it's like the diehard Sonic fans. So hopefully Sega adjusts their expectations or the sales improve. But it seems to me, too, that the last big success that they had would have been Sonic Frontiers, exceeding their expectations or at least meeting their expectations. And then Sonic X Shadow Generations, I think, also met expectations, if not exceeded it. They weren't disappointed in it. But those are the two main line games. So we kind of need just more of that. And if they do more spin-offs, I'm not opposed to them just always chasing what Mario is doing. But it could be cool if they did things that Mario's not doing. So maybe it's basketball, Sonic Sports. It's hockey, it's baseball, it's volleyball. It's not tennis, and it's not golf, and it's not go-karts, and it's not Mario Party. Like you take those and you put them aside and you say Mario maybe has those. What aren't they doing that we could do with the Sonic Cast? And there's lots. Okay. I mean, the whole Sega Superstars line started with that tennis game.
Yes.
So bring that back. In fact, port that game, have it compete against Mario Tennis that's coming out soon, and then be disappointed. But I'll be happy because that game was fun.
But I think take away the giant marketing campaign and they're perfectly happy with these sales. They thought they could turn marketing dollars and McLaren cross promos into game sales. And to some extent they could, just not at the same rate that they anticipated.
Yeah.
It's that I wonder how much they spent for the whole McLaren advertising.
Yeah, or who paid who. It's unclear. But I think, I don't know, the marketing for Shadow, I think, had this problem too. Is like, why is there a motorcycle at baseball stadiums? Like, what does this have to...
Right. At least I would say, because if we think about all the yearly campaigns that they've done, Year of Shadow, it's very much like it's all about Shadow. So even if there's a weird Shadow motorcycle at a baseball game, at least the campaign is like, we're focusing on Shadow. He's getting a game. He's getting a movie. Like, look at Shadow, give him a kiss. But I don't know.
But I think the year-long campaign is just too long. Like we were sick of the Crossworld stuff, and we're like the most receptive people on the planet to their marketing.
Well, it does feel like racing around the world, even though I know that is tied into Crossworlds. Like, not even the key art, though, is them in cars for that campaign. It's them on their feet, which, of course, is Sonic are. So it does feel like kind of stretched out, kind of all over the place. And like you said, like we've all said on this show time and again, it was too much news, too much like dribbling out. Are we going to get this? And you're going to get that. And you're going to get it. I feel like the only time that's ever really worked for me personally to have micro doses of news on a game that won't come out for a year was Brawl back in the day, the Brawl Dojo, Japan.
I would have said Sonic Adventure, but
well, that wasn't really
both very special lead ups.
Yeah, but even with Adventure, it does feel like here's an explosion of news, and then then some small bits before the game is out. But here, it should have been maybe like 2 or 3 big hurrahs of news, and then you don't talk about it until the game comes out, or I don't know. You release the game, and then you just keep on talking about all the things you're adding to it, which is also not what I would really want. Actually, forget that one.
But if every month they had, all right, now it's SpongeBob and now it's Ninja Turtles, I think that's a better thing than, okay, we're going to announce all these things, we're going to do the big fanfare, and then, okay, now you have to wait 4 months to do the Minecraft DLC.
Right.
I think so too. It would have been, if they had come as surprises, that would have been really, really fun. Maybe that's impossible because of how leak hungry the Sonic fans are, and maybe it would have just come out, so they were trying to get ahead of it.
I don't know if you should ever plan something and go, oh, we know this is all going to leak anyway. You should just what makes the most sense and is not going to overwhelm and also confuse, because if you buy Crossworlds day one, they've already announced, hey, SpongeBob's coming and Avatar's coming and Ninja Turtles, but they're not there and they won't be there for a while.
Well, yeah, and it's like then you complain about the sales not materializing. Well, if you're buying this game for the Ninja Turtles, why would you buy it until they're there?
Yeah.
Also, it's an expensive game. Not to mention the multiple different tiers, SKUs of the game.
Do you think they cut the marketing budget in the future, though? Which I think would be negative, because I think you would not get like a Chaotix Casefiles in that case.
Well, I wonder, does it, like, with the marketing budget, like, there must be, here's the budget for Sonic the franchise, and then what are we going to allocate for game?
And it seems like Chaotix Casefiles, I would guess, comes out of a fund that is for the hardcore fans.
Like the brand development and sustenance. Although it's monetized on YouTube, we had to sit through some ads. Maybe it's a revenue source.
Yeah, I guess so.
Think they'll win a Webby?
They're going to start selling ad spots. And be like, the Chaotix Casefiles are brought to you by Stamps.com.
Whoa.
Stamps.
Stamps.com. Don't you get a free scale when you sign up with them?
You get a free scale.
I want it.
All right, let's switch over to Rings of Saturn.
Rings of Saturn.
Rings of Saturn this week is covering 2 Saturn arcade ports from Technosoft, who are now technically part of Sega, I think, but they were not in the 90s. Technosoft, well known for a couple of arcade games. There's a horizontal shooter called Hybrid Duel, and there's a vertical shooter called Blast Wind. Both of these got Saturn ports in the 90s, one after the other, 96 and 97. And they're arcade ports that really give you that arcade feeling. If you go to the options menu in this game, it's like the arcade service menu, and you've got dip switches that you can virtually toggle to change the settings. I did my usual thing. I looked into this games code, both of these games code, and I found there's a cheat sequence you could put in, and you can flip an extra one of the dip switches. And what does it do? It gives you infinite credits. It's free play mode. It is some kid has rented out the arcade, and now all the machines are free to play. So you can do this on both of these virtual arcade games, horizontal shooter and vertical shooter, horizontal and vertical, on your Sega Saturn. So that's the Saturn news of the week. And on the PlayStation side and the outer rings of the planetary system, I took a look at the PlayStation game Siphon Filter 3.
Oh, yeah.
So there's the Siphon Filter series, and they did a couple of them, at least 3. And you go on your GameFAQs, you go on your IGN, and they've got cheat codes listed for this game, but they're all wrong. None of them actually work. And so I went and found the real ones, and they're pretty involved. Like, to even start to enter them, you have to change the sound settings. You got to be mono sound, full volume music, low volume sound effects, and then and only then can you highlight the right menu item and then hold the right button combination to then unlock the menu that allows you to put in the cheat. And I untangled all the logic. You can now successfully cheat at this game, Siphon Filter 3, on the Rings of Saturn.
Wow. They really wanted you to work for it. How's the game?
Game's okay. But my real question is, like, GameFAQs, they have this upvote, downvote system. If there's a code you think doesn't work, you can hit the downvote. And so, like, the ratio is all wrong for Siphon Filter 3. It's like most people are voting down this thing that doesn't work. But I really wonder, who are these people voting up this thing that doesn't work?
I hope they're all bots. Sometimes you see people online and you're like, I hope you're a bot. Because if somebody is as dumb as you, that is just very worrying. So maybe it's bots.
Right. I guess I'm also wondering who, because that upvote, downvote system did not exist when the PlayStation was a going concern.
You're right. I traced this mistake back to 2002.
Okay. Wow.
So that's my earliest reference for it being wrong. I think probably is as old as the game.
Right.
Also, Siphon Filter 2, cheat codes on the sites are wrong for that one, but one guy on one forum has the right explanation.
Whoa.
And, hats off to that forum guy.
Love to see it.
You know, you remember the website, Sega Sages, and then it became like Game
Oh, of course, yes.
Right.
Sega Sages turned into Game Sages, which then got folded into IGN.
Uh-huh.
And that got converted into a wiki that exists today.
Wow. I know it's unreal. I kind of wish that the original still existed, because them and Game FAQs, those were the two big ones.
Yeah.
And one did not eat the other. Instead, IGN ate it, and no one remembers.
GameSpot ate Game Facts.
GameSpot 8. But you could, okay. But at least Game FAQ still looks like what it looks like.
It still looks pretty much like
Yeah.
it did. And actually, when I wrote the FAQ for Burning Rangers, the first one since I think 2001, maybe it was one was written.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at like, where can I put this besides my own website where it will live on? If I get hit by the gun truck from Sonic Adventure 2, I wanted to make sure this lasts. Where can I go? And I picked GameFAQs because they have a website that's been there for 20 years and they got a track record.
You can quibble with the content and the users, but you can't argue with the foundation that has lasted for generations, David. Generations.
Whoa. That's right. Long time.
Hey, speaking of generations, let's check in with our generational talent, Barry at Sega Bits, to hear what they're talking about on Sega Talk this week on Sega Bits. Barry.
Hey there, Sonic Weekly listeners. Barry here to tell you what's going on at the Sega Talk podcast. On our latest episodes, we look back at Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Sega Game Gear and Master System. And on our newest episode hitting Patreon, we page through the first 32 issues of IDW's Sonic the Hedgehog comics. How did the series kick off, and where does it go? Did Ian Flynn win? Find out on Sega Talk. Just search Sega Talk on your podcatcher of choice or visit segabits.com. Now, back to Grant, Bo, and David.
It's been a little bit since we've done a mailbag section. So why don't we do that? What do you think?
Yeah. Crack open that
I
bag.
vote yes.
Okay. We've got 2 high quality letters. We've also got some spam. We'll put the spam aside.
Oh, you should read the spam first, though.
You want the spam? Okay, hold on. Let me go to the spam folder. Okay. The subject line is Yamaha Baby Grand Piano Donation.
Oh, okay.
Hello. I hope this message finds you well. I am looking for a new home to my late husband's Yamaha Baby Grand Piano and would love for it to go to someone who will truly appreciate and care for this beautiful instrument. If you or anyone you know might be interested in giving it a cherished home, please feel free to get in touch with me at an email address that looks fake. Warm regards, Andrea or Andrea.
Wow.
What's the scam? You're like, hey, I need this piano.
Yeah, should I just say yes?
And I guess they demand payment and then you don't get the piano.
Probably something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, oh, well, I'll give it to you for free, but it's $10,000 shipping. So if you could just like, oh, that's a steal.
Yeah.
This would have to be a local transfer.
Right.
So they're just
They're
banking
like,
on you.
I live in
being-
Buenos Aires. Do you want my Yamaha Baby Grand Piano?
Or you
gonna try this
reply and
podcast.
say, yeah, I'm in Bent Fork, Tennessee. And they're like, what a surprise. So am I. The piano's right down here. Send me the money and then you can come pick it up.
Well, here's another letter. This one is titled Fan Mail and Discord Request. Hey, did you know you can go into the Sonic Weekly Discord by emailing sonicweeklypodcast@gmail.com? Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Now you know. Okay, here we go. Here's the letter. This is the letter part. I'm not going to read the letter in Vector's voice, just so that you know which part's the letter and which part's me. I'm going to read it in my regular voice. Okay, here it is. Hey, Sonic Weekly crew. I'm Brandon over here at the Overthinking Movies podcast, and I've been a listener since early 2024 and continue to enjoy the show as a safe space while on my long drives. I knew David from FTCR, but Bo and Grant were new to me, and I've enjoyed their enthusiasm, knowledge, and chemistry with David and the rotating guests. It was strangely cathartic in 2025 getting to parasocially share in the exhaustion of the never-ending Sonic Crossworlds news leading up to its release, or genuinely enjoying when things would go off topic, like David's knowledge of Superman lore. While I think the Ken Penders check-ins are fun, I worry for David's sanity if they become a weekly thing. Really looking forward to your coverage of the Chaotix Casefiles, which is shaping up to be a strong start for the franchise this year. As far as questions or topic suggestions, I think it might be interesting to explore how much the franchise changed in tone and even genre between Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. You go from a mystical environmental story about power-hungry greed with gods and ruins and history repeating itself that feels comfortable next to the Genesis games, to a government conspiracy thriller with cover-ups that involved mass executions and bioexperimentation. Sonic Heroes seemed to soft reboot the series to something closer to pre-adventure, but then Shadow the Hedgehog and Sonic 06 brought these elements back and doubled down on them. I guess to make a question out of all of this, do you think these elements introduced by SA2 mesh well with this series that was originally just about nature versus technology? Could this also be a part of why the franchise has seemed to keep rebooting itself with each game? Thank you guys for your time. And while our world may seem dire, our shared interest is at least looking to have a strong year that isn't just a million cross-worlds adverts. Thank you, Brandon, from the Overthinking Movies podcast. Thank you for the letter, and thank you for the good question and topic prompt.
Smart question. I thought this at the time, like Sonic Adventure 2, I was in the target age range for, but also aware enough to think like, yeah, Shadow's maybe a little bit lame, like being this edgy.
Mm-hmm.
Is this what I should be aspiring to as someone becoming a teenager? But I was still into it, you know. But I think this is the challenge. If you have a long-running franchise, that some of your audience are going to be kids. They're going to grow up with the series. If you want them to stay engaged, you kind of have to grow up with them. They got to get more mature themes, more complex elements. But sooner or later, that audience is going to mostly age out the way I did. You know, then in my adulthood, I came back, but I did sort of age out. And then at that point, maybe you should do like a reboot, and the hardcore people will stay along and follow the cycle for another round, and it can repeat. And so I think it's smart to do that, to be aware of it, like every, 6 years, kind of do a soft reboot in tone. I think they executed that well up to Heroes, perhaps, and then fumbled it. Somebody should write academic papers about how different series have handled this.
There's also a specific individual who contributed to this tonal shift, and that would be the writer of Sonic Adventure 2, Shiro Miyakawa.
Mm-hmm.
He wrote portions of Panzer Dragoon Saga and joined Sonic Team during the production of Sonic Adventure 1, and conceived and wrote Adventure 2 story, as well as Sonic Heroes and Sonic 06, and the storybook games, right? He also did Secret Rings and Black Knight. But Adventure 2, he's talked about this in interviews, he didn't like Sonic. So he came into it trying to shape Sonic into something that he would like. He wanted to introduce Shadow to specifically rival Sonic's coolness, which was something that came up during brainstorming sessions from the original Sonic Adventure, and then he brought back for Adventure 2. And of course, we know a little bit about the development of Shadow with the Terios the Prisoner thing that was also a skin that you could get for Sonic X Shadow Generations with the pre-order.
Mm-hmm.
We talked when at some convention, Izuka mentioned that Spawn, the Image Comics character Spawn, was an influence for Shadow the Hedgehog and not a certain Dragon Ball character that everybody has always compared Shadow to. But yeah, anyway, Shiro Miyakawa, he's the influence that has the interest in the sci-fi, edgier, political thriller kind of aspect of it. And Sonic Adventure 1, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, was Naoto Oshima, who was writing the events and pretty much doing the story plotting for Adventure 1. So here's what I'm saying. Now that the franchise has come to a point where Sonic Adventure 2, even Sonic 06, are held up as these like great
Epics, yeah,
icons and legends of the past, bring him back, because we just had Naoto Oshima come back to do Sonic Superstars. And so Shiro Miyakawa is still active in the video game industry. He just hasn't worked on Sonic in a while. So bring him back and let's see what he would script this time.
What has he got in his back pocket? I'd be curious. I would definitely be interested to see what he would bring to the table. With the question, which was right, the elements introduced by SA2 mesh well with the series that was originally just about nature versus technology. SA2 does lean more into the sci-fi aspects of the world, while the classic games and adventure are more about the mystical, magical, ancient world type stories. But there is always a degree of sci-fi floating in there, because it is about, I mean, you see Dr. Eggman, he's floating in his little bubble, in his Eggmobile. It's floating. How's it floating? That's a sci-fi thing. I don't think it's a magic thing. He's Mr. Technology. He's got his robots. It's running around. It really is just like, here's the series that can explore many different aspects of a fictional world, and we're just going from one focus to another. So even if it feels like aspects of tone or location are in a state of reboot, the series itself, I don't think it's too out of place. Especially like going from Adventure to Adventure 2 as a kid, even though I knew like the two games were different, it never occurred to me that the person who wrote SA2 did not, because I wasn't paying attention to names aside from like Naka at that point. It didn't occur to me this is written by somebody else, or it's written by somebody who wasn't a fan of Sonic. It did feel like classic games, Adventure 2, they are just stepping stones, building blocks, moving from one theme that they're exploring to another. And it's not like Sonic is completely different in SA2 as he is compared to the first adventure.
I was thinking about this, though, but doesn't the opening line signal a bit of a break? Like, talk about low-budget flights. Like, Sonic Adventure 1, Sonic would not say that and then jump out of a helicopter. He's got a little bit more of an attitude, I think, in Adventure 2.
Well, maybe that's colored by just, like, who is Sonic? Like, especially like American Western Sonic, he's snarky. He's got a bit of an attitude. He is the hedgehog with an attitude. That's definitely something like AOSTH Sonic, I think, could have said in any episode.
But Sonic Adventure ends with, but that, how can that help? His heart will still be in turmoil and the anger just won't go away. And then Sonic Adventure 2 Sonic starts with, I'm out of here. I'm going to maybe kill these guys in this helicopter by sabotaging it and then jump out.
Well, yeah, because he probably tried talking to them. In Sonic Adventure, Sonic realizes nobody's talked to Chaos. Nobody's tried to. And what does Sonic do? He doesn't talk to Chaos. He punches him in his brain.
Right in his brain. And his most powerful punch that he could possibly do.
He'll turn into
Sonic.
a lightning bolt. And
then you'll stop hating everything. Sonic, did you lobotomize Chaos? Is that what you...
Adventure and Adventure 2 as two sides of the same Dreamcast coin. And it's interesting to think of them as a pair, as a duology, because they have some similarities, even if they're not necessarily intentional. Like one I was realizing is that they both open with the police being incompetent. The police, their weapons are useless against Chaos Zero. And then I don't think you see the Station Square police again. I think that's their one and only appearance. There's no emergency services period after Chaos attacks.
No, they gave up.
Do they block some stuff off at some point? Yeah, the police car over the sewer.
over the sewer. Yeah, the big moves.
But no, the thing that's blocked off is the train strike. So
right,
the unions have got a chokehold on this city. It's
right, but Knuckles has to punch past like barriers to go into Speed Highway Dawn at the City Hall or whatever that building is. Yeah.
Oh, and sort of the Badniks have taken over the police mobiles in Speed Highway Dawn, right?
That's true. Yeah. So in general, and then of course in Sonic Adventure 2, Gun as the police force there are obviously on a scale from like incompetent to evil in that game. In later games, Gun has a good side from time to time, but they're never totally trustworthy. So I just thought that was kind of interesting that both games sort of have this like interesting commentary about like just police in general. And it seems to have like a negative sort of cynical approach to it that like, well, however you feel about policing, Sonic the Hedgehog's better.
It's hard to argue with that, right? Look at him. He's so cool in blue.
There's other themes that do cross over. That was one that just sort of struck me. But yeah, to your point, David, also Sonic is fantasy sci-fi or sci-fi fantasy. And sometimes it puts the sci-fi first and sometimes it puts the fantasy first.
Yeah.
And it is interesting, though, that the more that it inches towards sci-fi, it has a interesting effect on the fans. Some people really like it, but others really get very turned off by it. And what I'm thinking of also is in the Archie comics with the Carl Ballers would sometimes get more sci-fi. And by that, I mean, he would just explain things more. He would just sort of explain, well, how are there anthropomorphic animals that behave like humans? It's like, well, there were gene bombs, which I guess is from Sad AM anyway, but like, nevertheless, that's an example of a sci-fi thing.
Sad AM never explained, even though Ben Hurst came up with the idea. Basically, it was like a Planet of the Apes situation where some humans went into space and then Robotnik and Snively came back and all the people were gone and there's just animals. And he's like, that's weird. I guess I'll take this place over.
Gotcha. Okay, so he evolved it from the Sad AM Bible then. Ballers did.
Yeah, I don't know where Ballers got his idea from. I know in the comic there was like a very vague like Days of Fury or whatever, like a thing happened.
Well, I'm happy to credit him with the idea. I just wasn't sure if it
okay. I mean,
entirely was his or not.
It's one of those things I just don't want explained. Like, okay, I accept in this world that hedgehogs talk and
yes,
Cluckies don't. And okay, fine.
That's how the games do it. They're just like, here's Sonic. He talks. Don't worry about it. We don't worry about it.
How do you guys feel about like the nature versus technology theme as it's represented in Sonic? Here's my angle toward it is I sometimes feel like that gets overstated by not just this person's letter, not just from Brandon, who, again, great letter, but in general, like you'll see people talk about the nature versus technology themes in the original Genesis games. And it's there, sort of, but I just wonder if we exaggerate it in our memories, because it's far from Captain Planet in terms of being like overt with it. Like it's Archie that dials down into like there's pollution and stuff. Oil Ocean is polluted.
SatAM, yeah.
SatAM, yes, thank you.
But I think that was just the 90s. Like, everything in the 90s was about acid rain and Fern Gully, and
oh man,
the landfills are too expansive or too crowded, or so it was really just everywhere in the 90s.
Yeah, the 90s was a time when like climate change was the buck was getting pushed via cartoons onto like everyday people of like, well, if you just turn off your lights and like you do
recycle
and you recycle, then we can fix this problem.
Yeah.
Right. They thought it'd be
but
simple.
I think like the scene that seems the most supportive of the idea that it's a theme is the good ending of Sonic 1, where he's got the emeralds, the flowers bloom, there you go.
And Sonic 1 has such a nice progression from like Green Hill into ruins, into a city, into a factory.
Right.
Probably the best example of that is in Sonic 1.
Because even the sky changes. You start with the blue sky, and by the time you hit Scrap Rain, it's all brown and red. Yeah, it's like that hazy, gross. It's all gross here. Yeah, Robot Eggman, what'd you do? You made it gross. Yeah, and then even is echoed in the Game Gear game, because with the Chaos Emeralds, that if you get them all, it makes his base kind of like, it goes away. There's no more smoke. There's no more anything.
And CD has this too, right? The good ending is sort of the fusion of nature and technology versus just one or the other.
Right, yeah. The bad future, it's very much a rundown, discarded world. Well, but the good future does seem to have technology.
Yeah.
So it is introducing a nuance of like, well, it's not that all technology is bad. It's just, it depends on how it's used and how people go about it.
Right.
And the relationship between nature and technology, where Eggman can kind of slip into that role of like the ultimate capitalist, and he doesn't care about what is happening. He's just focusing on making his inventions and taking over the world. That's what he wants to do, right? Look at him.
Not all technology is bad. I mean, the pulley system in Mushroom Hill Zone gets you from point A to point B.
Right. And I mean, even in Sonic 2, Sonic owns a biplane. So he has a piece of technology. Presumably it runs on some sort of fuel. I don't know if it's gasoline, if it's or if it's solar powered.
Well, but the other thing too is like, Sonic is a hedgehog. True.
Yes.
And he's blue. But he also wears shoes or Christmas boots or sneakers. But he's wearing technology. Foot technology.
Well, he's not Amish, right? He's
that's what that's what I'm saying. Is like he's a modern. He lives in the modern world, so it's never like a flat thing. Like even though Sonic 3 and Knuckles is kind of Angel Island is remote from the rest of the world and supposedly untouched by any sort of technological. But again, you got the Mushroom Hill Zone pulleys. Did Eggman put those in? I don't know. What about Carnival Night? Is that an Eggman construction? Maybe it is.
It's hard to say.
One other thing that's in the Sonic universes is that technology actually used to be better. So the ancients had some pretty cool stuff that was lost, I guess. The echidnas had stuff that was lost.
It's true. Okay, let's read one more letter because it'll be a good segue out. As we reach the end of the show. This will be a segue towards next week, but let's read this one because it comes from one of our EPs, Dr. Hate PhD, and the subject is Tangle and Whisper Reveal. This is what the letter says. I'm driving to work, listening to the most excellent Chaotix Casefiles, thinking to myself, I wonder if the culprit is Mimic? Nah, he's from the comics. When all of a sudden, Vector drops that we'll be meeting Tangle and Whisper in the next episode. As a vibes man, I absolutely adore the comics. I love how they expand the lore and offer our lovable characters chances to have discussions and experiences that wouldn't fit well in the video games. I especially love the OG characters they've introduced in the comics, and Wowie Zowie, I hadn't expected to see them pop up in this audio drama. Just minutes before I heard Grant suggest if we would hear any voices of comic characters in this series, and although my heart leapt at the prospect, my mind told me to hold my horses. Boy, was my head out of line. The Chaotix Casefiles has been an absolute blast so far. The characters are well written, and there are plenty of funny moments. I especially like how Eggman is invested in the story. Makes me suspect he isn't going to be revealed as the thief after all. Who do you think the thief will be? Professor Tori? Rouge all along? Neo Metal? Someone else? It's someone that can disguise themselves as other people, so do you have any thoughts? I especially like how charming Vector comes across. My first real introduction to the group was in the IDW comics, and Vector's response to the metal virus and Charmy becoming infected has always stayed with me. Sure, he has a goofy voice, but he's also the strong, clever leader of a cool detective group. His actions in the comics and his nonchalant self-sacrifice to keep others safe from the metal virus, chef's kiss. Dr. Hate, PhD. Thank you for the letter, Dr. Hate, PhD. And you can always reach us, sonicweeklypodcast@gmail.com. Tangle and Whisper, we will have more to say about them next week after they appear in the episode. But yeah, excited that you're seemingly the reception to the Chaotix Casefiles across the board has been pretty positive. And I think we feel generally the same.
Very nuanced and thoughtful letter. I think the doctorate was well deserved when they awarded it to him for hate studies. No, very good. My son and I were talking about who do we think the culprit is. We did not come across Mimic because we're not super well versed on that aspect of the comics, but we thought Infinite. Infinite is a shapeshifter. He can impersonate Metal Sonic, so that was our guess.
Mm-hmm.
Infinite is my guess for who the mystery villain is in the Sonic comics right now. Right now in the IDW Sonic comics, they are being watched by an unseen observer. Mystery. Could be a new character, could be Metal Sonic, could be Infinite.
Did they have a Phantom Ruby plot in the comic already?
I don't think so. Not since the original Sonic Forces prologue comics.
Yeah. In the very first time that we saw a drawing of Eggman in IDW, there is some of the cubes around his head, as in the Phantom Ruby thing had just happened. But we've steered completely away from Phantom Rubiness, from Infinite. Even though Forces happened, we have not really focused on what the events of Forces were in the comics. So if it is Infinite, that would come out of that. I mean, that would come right out of left field. It feels like, but that could be interesting. Right. Neo Metal Sonic can do a bit of a morph, but and in the letter, Mimic does seem like if they are going all in on IDW, it seems like a
strong candidate.
A strong candidate. But yeah, I am wondering though if it would be that simple or if there is some other misdirects going on.
Maybe it's an unreliable narrator situation. Vector did it.
I wonder. I guess we'll find out. Stay tuned to the Chaotix Casefiles. Stay tuned to Sonic Weekly, and all will be revealed in time, eventually, on Rings of Saturn.
That's true. We will find out. In fact, it's possible. What if it's actually Vector is the one who's been stealing these the whole time? He wore a Knuckles mask. He wore a Rouge mask. He wore a mask. I don't know. But look, hey, if right, like you said, do you want to know what's going to happen? Not just in the world of the Chaotix Casefiles, but in the world of Sonic the Hedgehog as a whole, you just got to stay plugged in to Sonic Weekly. You've reached the end of another episode already. And if you want to know what happens next time, hey, the best way to do that is to subscribe to this podcast using your podcatcher of choice, be it Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or for the Android faithful, Podcast Addict. Give a rating and a review, however it works. We appreciate it. The magical algorithm appreciates it. But if you reject all podcatchers, and I don't blame you if you do, we are also over on YouTube. We are at Sonic-Weekly. You can you can comment, you can subscribe, and as always, our voices are joined by gameplay footage recorded by friend of the show, Jack of Old Games. Hey, and that's also where you can check out the Sonic Weekly shorts, little bite-sized morsels of Sonic Weekly goodness coming at you in a convenient 1 to 2 minute format. It's like having a piece of candy, right? Like a Werther's or a Snickers. or anything like that. Hey, yeah, what do we do? You want to reach out to the show? Email address. It's sonicweeklypodcast@gmail.com. Drop us a line. We do the mailbag segment. We read 2 letters today. We could read your letter next time. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you're thinking. We want to know what you want us to talk about. And it's the only way to get a link to our Discord server. Ask for it. And we'll send off that invite link. And soon enough, you'll be talking to some like-minded Sonic the Hedgehog fans about many things, up to and including Sonic T. Hedgehog. Yeah. Hey, if you're able to support the show in a monetary fashion, we also are on Ko-fi. That's right. We're just Sonic Weekly over there. And you can throw something into the tip jar for $5 a month. You can become one of our executive producers, just like PigDan, Pabsy, Sonikku, SavingThrows, Belgarion, Ratliker63, Dr. Hate, PhD, Sertoo, and Butterbeerhawk. And as I am required by law to say, you are all exceptionally smart, talented, and we all think you're really keen. That helps offset the costs of production and hosting of the show. But if you're not able to, that's perfectly fine as well. We just appreciate that you're here. And hey, tell your buddies they're all welcome. Gotta thank Altsynth for the edit and for making those Sonic Weekly shorts over on the YouTube. I gotta thank Smoovies for the Rings of Saturn jingle. And just like I do at the end of every show, I gotta thank Bo and Grant. Grant and Bo. Bo Regrant? Bo Regard. Gotta thank them for being here on this mystical, magical journey. And hey, we really should have our own detective agency as well. Think of all the shenanigans we could be getting into right now.
This is the first good idea you've had.
I love it.